Unlock the door, bitch. I'm on my way, and I got chicken strips.
I don't know why they call them chasers. It's not like Chubs can run real fast.
Double vodka with hot brownie chasers.
She just wanted to watch me eat it. Naked.
I can't say that. That's dirty.
Chasers will do anything to get into your pants. I love them.
Stop it! Stop!
Oh, God.
Chubs Gone Wild.
Well, hello and welcome to the afterglow of Thanksgiving, as we still hold on to the many pounds and tons of dressing that we have eaten and are in our turkey malaise. Hello! It's Chubs Gone Wild, episode 520, which is 100 shows away from Tom's favorite number. All right, it is November 27th, 2023. It is 60 degrees and sunny outside the Chubs Gone Wild remote studios, where it is only 10 days until Hanukkah. It is 24 until winter solstice, 28 until Christmas, 29 until Kwanzaa, 35 until New Year's Day, and only 340 days till Halloween. It's coming quick. Yes, exactly. So you are decorated,
No, that's an old picture.
but you're still decorated.
No, I was never in the military.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's days like this that make me realize that the more weight you lose, well, you know what they say about being dumb and pretty.
No, what do they say about it?
The prettier you are, the dumber you are.
That's not true.
That is true.
Really?
Yes.
Then why aren't you Einstein?
Oh, stop. Ugh, that was just the meanest thing you ever said.
Oh no, I've said much meaner things.
Oh, that's damn. Yeah, that's true.
And to
Anyway.
you as well, not just to in general, but to you, I've seen
Me, yes, definitely. And our listeners know it. They're like, I just don't understand how you could let him speak to you that way. Like, everybody needs a hobby. Anyway, let's see. Patreon offers folks a way to support creators and receive rewards not open to the general public, like special podcasts, videos, books, and more. And we want to thank our current patrons: Clint, Nephi, Nick, Eric, Sean, Kingsley, Brother Sinatus, Phoenix Dave, and Moose P. Please visit patreon.com/Burlingame for as little. Find out how you can become a member for as little as $1 a month. And if you are looking at the Chubs Gone Wild remote studios, Tom is about to eat Tinkerbell. I don't know what the fuck I just said, but if you're looking at the video of our show right now, Tom is about to eat Tinkerbell. It's very cute, though. What is it? Is it? Oh, it's a little strand of lights.
very nice.
Oh, that's very pretty. Tom got me a strand of star lights that are very pretty, and I leave them up all the time. And actually, a couple months ago, I just started leaving them on at night as well.
Yeah, I don't know why you wouldn't. You've got enough. It's not overly bright stuff, but like a nice glow, and that way you can get to the bathroom without tripping
Yes.
over anything, and that stuff.
Very, very true. All right. Well, today's affirmation: take a deep breath, try not to cough. I rise above all limitations. I am divinely guided and inspired.
Ugh.
Yeah, whatever. Let's see.
Well, I am divinely inspired, but
You're divinely inspired.
by divine, not by a divine entity.
Oh, that is true. Divine was quite quite the inspiration for many, many things. Tell you, the first movie I saw her in, I think, was Pink Flamingos, and whoo, boy, I'd never seen a movie like that before.
Well, that's because you eat shit. Oh
Uh,
no, she did. She
no,
did.
she did. Ugh. All right. History. This day in history, November 7th, 1095. Okay. Pope Urban II, okay, or Urbane, whatever, makes perhaps the most influential speech of the Middle Ages, giving rise to the Crusades by calling all Christians in Europe to war against Muslims in order to reclaim the Holy Land. Isn't that war still going?
Pretty much.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on from that into some holidays, because I know there's something here that we celebrated. Cyber Monday.
I did.
Oh, what'd you do? What'd you do?
I bought a Ninja blender.
Really?
I did.
Be just a little too on point what we were talking about earlier.
I didn't. I was waiting for you to ask what I got since you never did.
Oh, I thought I'd save it for the show.
Oh no, you didn't. You just didn't ask because that's you. It's all about you and not about me, and I get that. Until
That's
we're on
so
the show,
weird.
and then
Now,
you're trying to look like a nice guy.
when we go to the other show, I feel the same way. It's all about the other guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it was really, you did.
Yeah, it was. I saw. Okay, you know the deal guy on YouTube.
Kind of.
Well,
I think
anyway,
I've seen it.
he's this is his time of year. Every time there's a sale or a deal, he had like the Black Friday deals. He has the Cyber Monday deals. He's always, this is the best thing. This is the 30 things you need to see at Costco and maybe buy
Huh.
that kind of stuff each month. So he does that kind of show. And so last night I was sitting there and Sean killed my blender last month.
Oh.
So for your birthday, for your birthday, he killed it. So anyway, I was watching that and he goes, yeah, there's a Ninja blender. It comes with not just the blender, but a food processor along with it and all sorts of blades and all sorts of shit, good stuff. And it was $98.
Wow. That is a good price.
Normally $229, I think it was, but for Black Friday or for Cyber Monday, and I was all over that. So,
yeah. Oh,
so that's what I got for Cyber Monday.
Well,
so
that sounds really cool. Is that it? Did you get
so
anything
far? It's early.
Monday's not over. 111. Make a wish. And okay, so National Bavarian Cream Pie Day. No, sadly.
I thought that was a cake.
That is a Boston cream pie.
Oh, that's right.
Yes. Let's see, National Craft Jerky Day.
No, don't make my own jerky.
No. Electric guitar. Nope, not me. Pins and Needles Day. Well, kind of, sort of. Pie in the Face Day. What kind of pie? Tom might be celebrating later.
Ooh, you mean like with the hair pie?
Oh dear. Turtle Adoption Day. Nope, have not adopted any turtles. And well, that's it. Yeah. Now
I did turtle earlier, but that was a different thing.
Dear. Let's see. So we have national. We have Adopt a Senior Pet Month. No. Okay. No. I just can't with some of these. No. Oh, National Raisin Bread Month. No. Okay.
Month?
Yeah.
Yeah,
they're showing us the months as well.
No, I don't eat bread, but I do like raisin bread.
You know, our dear friend Lawrence, he recently made a raisin rum bread pudding with a creme anglaise sauce on it. And it was actually really warm, or really good, and he served it warm, so it was
That's
really
how it should be
nice.
served. If you got the glaze, it should be a warm.
Yeah, it turned out really well. Okay, so we do have some birthdays here somewhere. Let me into it. All right. When your friends have birthdays, they will appear here. Apparently, my friends have had no birthdays. Oh, I see. Okay, let me.
Do you do no prep on the show at all?
Girl, I'm the only one that does any prep on this show, but it was set to the wrong thing here. So, dear, dear, dear.
I know you're taking a long nap after
I need
this.
to put, yes, I am. I need to put my on air thing on so the dog will know to anyway. Where are our events here? Birthdays. Are you there now? We are there. Happy birthday to Van Andrew, the movie going wonderful man, Andrew. Also to Jan. We have upcoming birthdays to Alex. Oh, also Philip, Rob, one of the Robs from Rob 1 and Rob 2. We have Talbot and Frank, Chris, Tim, Gina, singer Gina Livingston. We have Moses. Also, Kieran, Jeffrey, Noel, Jackie, and Jed. Jed Miller. He is an upcoming author. All right. Birthdays. Done. Where are we now? So we don't have anything in our feedback, but I'm sure we have some Chub hugs to send out. Now, one of the first Chub hugs I want to send out, actually the only one this time, is to everyone who has had pets passing recently. Oh my goodness, almost every time I go to Facebook, somebody else has had a pet that has passed recently. It's been so sad. How about you?
Well, just that I wish that we were entering into this holiday season without having so many wars across this country,
Oh,
or this world, not country, but
right.
um,
Yeah.
and yeah, and it's just it's gotten to I can't watch the news anymore.
Mm-hmm. I got you.
It's weird. Um, and also, I want to say to the movie industry, they keep talking about how, oh, this movie came out and it's not doing any good. No one's coming to see it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I'm on all streaming and social media. I still do social media and stuff like that. I didn't know Wish came out last week. Did you? The
No.
new
Uh-uh.
Disney musical came out, and no one knows about it.
No.
And
You know what? I didn't even know. Didn't the
Hunger Games.
Mockingjay, the
Hunger Games.
yeah, that didn't that come out?
That came out too.
Heard nothing about it.
That's what I'm talking about. I mean, these guys need to figure out how they're going to advertise to non-cable people.
Right.
I mean, put it on my. I mean, why am I not getting movies on my Facebook? It's
Mm-hmm.
what my algorithm says he doesn't go to movies. I don't think so. So anyway, I'm surprised because they're complaining, and I can tell you that I mean, I'm not hearing about it, and that's me.
Right. Yeah. And you're connected to about everything movies.
Yeah, and I just I don't get why, the only way they were really advertising to people was strictly on television commercials. Well, this is probably their big reason why the industry has been suffering.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised. And I'm getting tired of hearing about everybody talking just gleefully talking about how the Marvels are just like bombing so hard. And I'm like, I still, except for one or two people, one of whom was a listener, so respect to him. But other than that, I haven't heard anyone really talk bad about it. So I don't know. I just don't get it. Anyway, all right.
So
So that's
yeah,
our chub hugs.
right.
All right. So, celebrity news, starting with some deaths. This week, we had Jean Knight, the R&B and funk singer behind the 1971 hit Mr. Big Stuff, died. She was 80. Marty Krofft, who with his brother Sid helped revolutionize children's programming in the 1970s, earning the nickname King of Saturday Mornings, died November 25th. He was 86 years old. Yeah, so many shows. So many shows.
What was your favorite Marty Krofft show? Marty Krofft? Sid and Marty Krofft show.
Yeah, probably Land of the Lost, even though the Sleestack scared the piss out of me.
Why?
Because that hissing and I mean, I was a little kid.
They couldn't run.
Well, I know they couldn't run and they only had like 3 fingers, and but still,
They were quite noisy.
yes, you heard them coming before they got there
Yeah,
because of
so
their breathing issues.
yeah,
But yeah, they were scary. But I didn't watch Sigmund and the Sea Monster.
that's
Oh,
because it didn't play in Sacramento.
that's probably why because it's a big, everybody just loved it, and I'm like, I don't remember ever really seeing it until years later. Oh, Electra Woman and Dinah Girl.
See, I think mine would be HR Puff and Stuff.
Yeah, I that's another one that I didn't really watch.
Who's your friend when things get tough? HR Puff
HR
and Stuff.
stuff. Yeah,
You
I
can't do a
didn't know
little
that.
because you can't do enough.
Now they didn't do the monkeys or anything like that, did they?
No, not unless they had a cartoon of it.
Okay,
But
yeah,
weren't they mostly live action cartoon? I mean, live
that's
action children.
yeah, that's kind of what I thought too. But let's see what else. We have Mars Williams, saxophonist for the Psychedelic Furs and the Waitresses, died November 20th at 68. All right, celebrity news. Paul Rudd did not enjoy the diet he had to adhere to in order to transform into Ant-Man, calling it horrible and restrictive. His nutrition plan had to get into Marvel shape was so intense that he would have sparkling water as a treat. I worked out harder than anyone. I would eat better than anyone, and I looked worse than all of them. Rudd is slated to appear in Ant-Man in Avengers, the Kang Dynasty.
Oh, I
Current
hope it's better than the last two.
production. Yeah. Well, see, yeah, I don't know. I liked Ant-Man 1 and 2, but that last thing, nope.
Oh, this is interesting. Did you know that HR Puff and Stuff was their first show as, oh, that's his writers, sorry.
Oh, no.
Okay. Second, it's his first show as producer was HR Puff and Stuff. And then they did the Bugaloos.
Didn't really know them.
The Bugaloos, they're in the air and everywhere. Okay, then there was Lidsville.
Nope.
That's with Charles Nelson Riley. They had the Brady Bunch meets the ABC Saturday All Superstars. I don't know what that was a special, obviously. Sigmund and the Sea Monster, Far Out Space Nuts,
Nope.
Lost Saucer, Land of the Lost, Electra Woman and Dinah Girl, the Donnie and Marie show. Wow, they produced the Donnie and Marie show.
Huh. Well, watch that.
And the Brady Bunch Variety Hour. Let's see, just seeing if there's anything else that was. They did the Bay City Roller Show. Bigfoot and Wild Boy. I don't remember that.
Uh-uh.
And then they got into out of the children's stuff and into more of like they've got Richard Pryor's Place,
Huh.
the Patti LaBelle Show,
Huh.
DC Follies. Wow, I didn't know they did that. So yeah, they did quite a bit of stuff that I didn't even realize, like remakes of Land of the Lost, Electric Woman and Dinah Girl twice,
Wow.
Sigmund the Sea Monster again, and the Bugle is a movie. Oh, that's weird. Okay, sorry.
Oh, it's
I
interesting.
was just curious because it seemed I knew there was more. I just couldn't remember the names of them because it's been 50 years.
Yeah. All right. Daryl Hall filed a lawsuit Thursday against former bandmate John Oates in Nashville's Chancery Court. According to court records, on Friday, the court granted Hall's motion for a temporary restraining order to take effect November 30th, according to records. Because the file is largely sealed, the nature of the restraining order is not apparent. Such an order might typically be entered in a business dispute to keep one party from harming the other party's economic interests. Interesting.
So I mean, it could have been something like because it was Daryl Hall that did it. So John Oates maybe was gonna, take the music and do something with it and sell it somewhere or sell all, a
Yeah,
lot of times these guys get to this age and they sell their catalog.
right.
Michael Jackson did it, the Beatles did it, a lot of them did it. And maybe I don't know, because no one knows what this is. That's the thing. We keep hearing about it, but all we hear is about it, but not about any of the details.
Yeah. I thought they toured not long ago.
I thought they did too. And
Yeah.
that's the thing. Guys like that should be out every summer.
Mm,
It's like Queen and Adam Lambert is, just like who was out, the Backstreet Boys are out every year. Christopher Cross is out every year.
Nephi
And
went to so many concerts from like 80s and 90s, 70s, 80s, 90s people this summer alone.
yeah.
Lionel Richie was back out.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, yeah, they definitely do need to be out there touring.
The problem with Lionel Richie concerts.
They go all night long.
That's right.
Ah, I was shot in the dark there, but all right. I was actually gonna say you end up dancing on the ceiling, but hello. All right. What up next? Okay, Paris Hilton welcomed her second daughter, her second child, a daughter named London. Paris welcomed London. Anyway, earlier this year, Hilton explained why she opted to use a surrogate to have their son, who was born in 2021. When I was in the simple life, I had to be in a room with a woman who was giving birth, and that traumatized me. But I wanted a family so bad. It's just the physical part of doing it. Childbirth and death are the two things that scare me more than anything in the world. So, yeah, there you go. Now, Tom wants to talk to you about.
Okay. Well, you will see my addition to the this is what I had for Thanksgiving dinner list when we come up a little bit later. And I did go to a second Thanksgiving on Friday, which I had a piece of turkey, and then all the rest was sides. What I do my the guy that's living and dating with my grandniece.
Okay.
He's a meat guy.
Oh,
So he likes smoking and barbecuing and grilling, and so whenever you go to the house, you're always going to get something kind of different or cool, or and if it's not, if it's like he made prime rib last year, and it was fantastic. He made it on the barbecue instead of, instead of baking it, in a long oven. But so like this time he had pork belly that he had barbecue and with barbecue sauce, and it was so good. It was so good. And then he had dove. He killed a dove that morning and
Oh,
cut it up and barbecued it up. It was really good. Which it's funny because I remember eating it. Sean and I tried it, and I go, now I see why Susie kills all the doves in the backyard. Okay, that makes sense now. They taste good.
hmm.
Oh, okay. Anyway, yeah, I know you're not much as for exotic meats. That's let's see, Golden Bachelor, the women talk. Oh my God. I was mentioning this to Brian, and the difference between the Bachelor and the Golden Bachelor, and I'm sure it's going to be the same thing with the Golden Bachelorette, is that when you see these 25 to 35-year-old girls going, well, I was in love and now I'm so alone. It's different when you've got, 60 to 75-year-old women, and they're talking about how they don't want to spend the rest of their lives alone and just die alone. And it's like, okay, we've gone from, I'm sad because I'm going to be a spinster to I'm already a spinster and I'm going to die alone. And it's just it almost is, it's kind of sad. And I understand why he was constantly crying all the time, because he feels bad of dashing these women's dreams of possibly ever finding love again. It's
Okay.
so
Yeah.
And I think this is the last week where he picks one of them. So
Yes, I haven't watched it yet, but yeah, the whole thing, but they were much nicer and more supportive of everyone than the other girls who were usually like just wanted to tear each other down.
well, it's because they know what scandal is, and they don't like it because older people, I mean, I remember as a kid, we didn't talk about what happens in the family. You don't talk about what goes on in the family or at home to
Right.
people. And so, so they're always like, well, one thing I have discovered is that I can find love again. I
Mhm.
know that I know that he's not the only guy out there. There's other men out there, and now I've got the will and the want to go out and find him. And I'm like, oh, and they're going to be alone. It's not going to work out. Oh my God, I feel so
Don't
terrible.
know that. There's a bunch of old codgers out there that are feeling the same way who are now like, hey, there's some hotties out there still.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. See, we started watching. When Max moved everything around, we stopped watching any home shows.
Uh-huh.
So now we're watching home shows. We picked up the Hometown. And that's with the big guy with the beard and his little teeny wife. I don't know if you've seen that, but he's he's like 6'6" and she's like 5'2". It's
Uh,
scary.
oh.
Um, and then the other one is Fixer to Fabulous, which is they're both just small town fixer uppers, taking the town and making it look better and showing pride in the history and blah blah blah. They're both good shows. On Frasier this last week, Lilith arrives. Thank God.
Oh.
I love Lilith. I saw her on stage in Los Angeles during a revival of a chorus line.
Mm.
And what was cool about it was advertised as the first time since its Broadway debut that they've had a let's say a professional version of it. So no community theater, but a professional version that was on a regular sized stage, not a Broadway stage.
Hmm.
So quite literally, when you were watching, when the chorus line is on the stage,
Yeah.
they were shoulder to shoulder across the entire stage. There was no extra stage there. But it was funny because she played Cassie in the show, and she's the one that needs the, she's the one that does the music in the mirror. She's going, Zach, I went to Los Angeles and I got a couple small roles, but I can't get work. And he goes, but you're better than this. You're better than the chorus. And she goes, I need the job. I don't care where I stand on the stage. And so, but every time she said it, it was like, instead of saying Zach, it was like hearing her say, Frasier, you got to understand, I need the job, and it's just, and then I looked up what she did was her Broadway stuff, and she's been in Chicago and all sorts of amazing shows that you're thinking, oh God, wouldn't that be great to be in New York and just happen to catch, Lilith in a show, Baby Newirth in a show. So anyway, that was fun to have her back. British Baking Show, we had the semifinals this week, and so we're down to 3 people. So next week's the finale.
I better catch up then.
And I was sad to see who went home, but it was, you have a bad week. That's all it comes down to when you're down to the end. Somebody's going home. There's a new show on Netflix called Squid Game.
Oh yeah, I saw something about that.
Which is a reality TV version of the movie or the limited series, The Squid Game. So they're doing all of the things in the Squid Game, and they've got a little collar, a little necklace around that I'm sure has a pendant that hangs right above your breastbone. And so when you get eliminated, it bursts and it looks like you've been shot. But what's really fun about that is most of the people are like going, oh, and then falling to the ground, doing a real dramatic drop, and others are just like, sitting down. And it's like, come on, people, let's have some fun with this. There was these 2 girls that got lost in the second round, and what happened was they look at each other and they hold out hands to go, we'll do this together, and they hold hands, and then and they both fall. It's really quite fun. Another new show on Paramount called The Curse with Emma Stone. Okay, so the show is about, remember the hometown thing I was telling you about? Well, they're basically reality stars that are in this small, I think it's New Mexico town, and they're trying to turn it around by changing up buying the properties and helping people get their get a leg up on what's happened. It's a small town, and trying to change it into like a real prosperous town. Of course, they show you how the sausage is made, where they're going, okay, now remember, your son just got a job, so can we have some tears to the people they're interviewing, right? And it's like, oh, let's get some water and maybe some menthol, and we'll get some tears out of her, that kind of stuff. So that's kind of gross. And then they're like, oh my God, you're just gentrifying this town, and everyone's going to get thrown out, and then rich people are going to move in, just what we need. And they're going, no, all the businesses that we're opening up are only hiring locals. Of course they are, because who's going to come into this little dump town and work for minimum wage but the people who live there? Oh, you're real big of it. So all that's going on. But at the same time, the husband of the show, the producer goes, oh, the girl's over there begging, go give her some money and we'll film it, and it'll look like, oh, look, we're giving to the town in lots of ways. So he goes over, he only has $100 bill, he hands her the thing, then he walks away, and then he goes back, he goes, oh, wait, I was just doing that for the filming, I'm gonna break this, and then I'll bring it back, and you can I'll give you 20 for it. She's like, no, you gave me the money. And he goes, well, I'm taking it back. And she gives him a curse, right? Which is where the name comes from. Okay, so that's going on. And then the next scene, we see Emma Stone and him are back at her parents' house. And we see him taking a pee with his very small penis.
Oh.
I mean, actually peeing. And then later after dinner, the guy's talking to her father, and he goes, well, we're both part of the same club. And he goes, I don't know what that means. And he goes, well, we both have small penises. And then we see his penis. And I'm like,
what?
Okay, if that's the curse, that already had happened. Okay, so you can't say I'm throwing a curse out at your small penis that you've had since birth. Okay, no, I don't understand what the show is. I really don't know. I'm intrigued, but I really don't know where they're going. So that's the curse on Paramount. Also on Paramount, they have the World Challenge World Champion. Now, this is the challenge that was on same show that was on MTV. Then it moved over to CBS, and now this is just on streaming. And this is and the nice thing that's on streaming, they can curse, they can get naked, they can, we'll hopefully do more than just what we see on CBS. So so far the language has been really terrible. I mean, good, terrible. And but I'm hoping for some nudity. Okay. True Blood. This week, Suki, she met recently she met this new fairy. Turned out that the fairy was actually a fairy vampire who her parents had promised Suki to many years ago. And so they just had sex last night, and when they did, there was like a big light that came from their groins. So I don't know what's going on there. And there's they're trying to rescue a bunch of vampires from the evil governor of, I think he's governor of Louisiana or Mississippi, who's got a place where he's holding all these vampires and torturing them. So good stuff happening there. There was no Masked Singer this week, so next week we'll have a new show. On Survivor, they backdoored another person, really backdoored them. Also on Stars, yes, I have Stars again because I wanted to see 2 series and a movie. Already saw the movie. I started both the series, so that's good. Shining Vale, which is Courtney Cox's paranormal show, that's on there. And the second one is Minx, which is, you might have remembered from HBO Max, when it was the woman who was doing like a Playgirl magazine, and it was her struggling in the 70s to try to get it made. And so now that it's a success, season 2 is here. Let's see, just finishing up the fall of the House of Ushers. Most of the cast is dead at this point, and we're going to find out what's really going on in the final episode. Scott Pilgrim, which is over on Netflix, is the animated version of Scott Pilgrim. So they're half-hour episodes. It's done in an anime style. I've never really been a big fan of the anime look, but the dialogue and the everything is good in it. I just it's not catching with me yet. And then I saw 4 movies. Nun 2, that is Nun 2, which is all based on the Conjuring movies and all those. They had a whole group there. It's the thing about the Nun is it's not scary enough. It really is not scary enough for me. I don't know. This one was better than the first one, but that doesn't say a whole lot. Also, I saw Elf, and this is weird because I started watching Elf, and I remember, and I wasn't drinking that much, so all I remember is that they had talked to the guy about coming in and doing writing up one of their books, and then Peter Brinkman, the actor from the House of Dragons, played the brother. He's a little person.
What is this?
Forget it. Okay. Anyway, I only got so far in the show before I woke up and I tried to go back and find, oh, you want to watch the remainder of this show? And I couldn't find it anywhere. So I don't know where I watched it or how I watched it. It wasn't live. I don't know what was going on. So anyway, I've got to figure out how much more of the Elf I need to watch. I watched new on Disney Plus was Dashing Through the Snow. It's with Ludacris, and it's a cute little new show. It's 90 minutes long on Disney Plus. And then I'm gonna it's pronounced, well, I don't know how it's pronounced. It's Susi. So Susi, something like that. It's about this man who is a gold miner during World War II, and he's in Norway, and he's dug up some gold, and he's trying to take the gold in and make some money. But it turns out the Nazis are in the area. They want to. They figure out he's got gold, and they want his gold, and and then ultimately they find out he's like this assassin guy. And even in the 1930s, an assassin guy who Norway just leaves alone because he's crazy, and he kills everybody, right? So they're going, we're not afraid of him, and everyone's going, you should be very afraid of him. So it's like an hour and a half of heads blowing up and severed arms and legs flying here and there. It's a great show. It really is a really good show. And the whole time I just kept thinking, who are they? Because it is Norwegian, and it's dubbed really well. The dubbing's really well. There's not a lot of dialogue to dub anyway, but it's dubbed really well. And I kept thinking, who are they going to get to play this part when they Americanize it? Because they're going to Americanize it.
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking, God, if they could get Quentin Tarantino to make it, and they get the right actor to play the gold miner, it could be a really, really good show. Of course, Tarantino would have looked at it and went, okay, it needs to be at least an hour and a half longer. But
yeah.
So that's the show that's on Stars that I've been waiting for, and I'm so glad that I got to see it because it was really, really good. And that is it. I did do some Black Friday shopping.
Yeah.
And Temu kept saying that it was Black Friday, and it's not Black Friday. You guys don't celebrate that. You're just throwing that out there and offering me the same deal that you keep offering every other 8 emails I get a day.
Yeah.
And so, but I did get some Temu stuff coming. Finally, I ordered from MeUndies, which I during Black Friday they offer a mystery box where you get 10 underwear for they're like $9 a piece, which is a really good price for designer underwear, whatever they want to call them.
Right.
So that's coming. I've got Spiceology, which is this company that, oh my God, they've got some amazing spices. So we had tried one of them and said, we need to try more of them. So we got a little gift pack thing that they had. And then some more optional ones that we got bigger things for. We're really getting into our spices. And is that it? I did get a butter maker for weed butter maker. That's it's a countertop thing. Instead of me having to boil up the oil and shit like that, this is supposed to do it. And trying to think of what I've got coming. That may be it. But I've been taking very much advantage. It's so great. We got the new refrigerator, and we needed a filter, change our filters. So usually every year, I just order filters. Well, it turned out it was like a week before Thanksgiving, and it offered me the filters. Oh, here, this will be the price. And I'm like, fuck this. I'm waiting until Black Friday. And on Black Friday, they offered me 30% more off that price. And I went, okay, yeah, now you can ship them to me. So that was fun. And that may be it. If I remember any more, I'll tell you. But I have been having a lot of fun with Black Friday.
Good.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right. Is the movie that you're talking about The Elf? Nick is haunted by night terrors stemming from a tragic murder he saw when he was young.
No, this is about Will Ferrell plays an elf, and he goes to New York.
About Elf.
Goes to New York, and he's his father runs a company that makes books. And so when the guy from Game of Thrones, not House of Dragons, Game of Thrones, comes in, the little guy, and I think it's Peter Dinklage, that's it. When he comes in, well, I didn't see him come in, but I heard him on the phone, and that's the last thing I remember.
Okay, so you were talking about Elf, because I was like, wait a minute, what am I missing? But okay, gotcha.
Yeah, it's called Not
I
Paying
haven't
Attention
watched
because
that
you're
yet,
too tired.
but it's on my list. I usually kick my Christmas watching off with
The Good Witch.
uh actually with
Charmed.
for the Cranks.
Ugh.
Yeah, Christmas with the Cranks. But yeah, not this year. So, well, let's start with Thanksgiving for me. It was a lovely Thanksgiving. I did my normal, this year was back to me cooking pretty much the full meal, except for Mr. Lawrence brought some sweet potatoes that instead of mashing it all up and having all the stuff on it and everything, he actually sliced it, baked it, and then fried it. And it was really good.
Well, that's the thing. If you go in and the butternut squashes, the acorn squashes, the sweet potatoes, the yams, all of those taste really good if you don't put sugar on them.
Yes. And so it was really
Butter and salt are really good too. You don't even have to fry them, but yeah, that sounds good too.
yeah. So he brought that, and he brought asparagus, and my friend Heather came over, and she brought the leprechaun salad.
Is that just Lucky Charms shaken over a lettuce?
Actually, it is lime jello
Um,
as the base, and then you add heavy cream, um, cream cheese, uh, mayonnaise, and I think some sort of marshmallow. Anyway, and then you blend and there may be one or two other things, but those are the base ones. And then you blend the fuck out of it, and then put it in the fridge to chill. And the first couple bites of it, you're kind of like, I don't know, this is kind of light. It's kind of like, yeah, okay, it's not bad. And then you just stop. That was more than enough. And I'm really pleased that she brought it, and that it's a tradition in her family every year. So it was really nice. Not my thing.
did you ever back in the day? Did you ever have those? Because that sounds. It wasn't it a mold too? Mold.
No, this was just in a bowl.
Okay, yeah. Because I was around during the time period where they would make those Jello salads, but they were made in a mold. And what you would do is you would cover it with. I mean they went for it. They had sliced olives or carrots and raisins were really popular. That was in the lime one, carrots and raisins. But they would. I remember a hot dog one where they had hot dogs in it, and
Uh,
it's basically as long as it was dried out, I mean, not dripping wet, you could throw it in there and it would and just seal it in the Jello. It was disgusting. As a
this
general, it was
actually was
disgusting.
where it was all blended together. So there was no like you didn't there was no like just gelatin on its own. Like everything was like
Yeah, I
blended.
know.
But Jello makes me throw up. And I don't mean like, oh, Jello makes you throw up. I mean like literally I take a spoonful of Jello and it right back up. So but this being blended, it was like okay, but I don't know, there's something about bright lime mayonnaise that just did not, you know, go for me. So I mean, it didn't taste awful or anything. It just was not my thing. But it was called leprechaun salad, and we really appreciated her bringing it. My mom liked it. Um,
Your mom's a saint.
I know she is. But we had a very nice time that day, except I was just worn the fuck out doing everything, and the turkey didn't thaw on time enough, so I was still the morning of like trying to thaw it out.
I told you should have started earlier.
Well, I had 3 days to thaw in the fridge. That's what it normally takes, and it just didn't this time. So, but
And
it
then
all came
your
out
fridge is probably too low is the problem.
too low, too high, too something, but so, but it came out, everything came out just lovely. And this is actually the best stuffing that I have made in several years. So that was lovely. We've got tons of it. Um, so it was a nice day. And then the next day, my uncle and my aunt, the religious ones that I used to talk about quite a bit, being all crazy religious, um, came and picked us up and took us on a trip down to Alameda to see the nuclear vessels, which is, for those who don't know, which I guess there's some that don't, that's a reference to Star Trek 4. And everybody I said it to looked at me like I had three heads. So apparently it's at that age where most people don't get it anymore. But anyway, um, so we went down. We got on. We stopped at this place called Black Bear Diner on the way down, which apparently is a chain. Have you ever been to one?
Yeah.
Okay. $16 for like a huge fucking amount of food. It was like they just brought me like two meals in one. I couldn't begin to finish it all. So that was nice. And then we went down to Alameda. It was a nice drive. We got to the ship. It was a Korean, a one from Korean era. So it was not like the big ass ships that they have now. Um, but we went to get on, and Mother, of course, has a walker, and she has a little, she's a little bit mobility challenged after, two hips, an ankle, and a knee.
No,
Um,
she's less challenged now that she's got new everything.
well,
So
yeah, but you know what I mean. So
yeah.
she's got her walker, and we have to figure out how to get on the ship because the stairs basically are going straight up. They have a lift. So she and one attendant, which would be me, gets on the lift, and it was like standing on a bowl of leprechaun salad. It jiggled and wiggled and was terrifying.
Oh,
Uh,
by the way, traditional leprechaun salad
uh
is pineapple.
Oh, yes, there was pineapple.
Okay, it's pineapple, lime jello, mayo,
Yep.
evaporated milk, cottage cheese, and walnuts.
Don't know if there was cottage cheese or
No,
not.
they probably tweaked it with cream cheese.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
So,
So,
ugh. And I know what it is now. Now that I've seen the picture of it. It's
uh,
disgusting. They're disgusting.
it was sweet of her to share her family tradition with
No,
us.
I mean, I think so too, but that doesn't mean it's not disgusting. I'll
So,
send you pictures.
yeah. Um, okay, so we got up there, we got on the hangar deck or whatever it was, and it was really cool to look around. Um, we saw a bunch of helicopters, some of the old planes that used to land there, and they looked fake. And they weren't, but it was just so different than the ones that they have now that was like, are you sure? And then we saw a model, one of the space capsules like that came back down, from space, and they would go and retrieve it and bring it back, and it held like three people, and you look in there and oh my god, it's the most claustrophobic looking thing. I was like, I could not handle that. um and then they wanted to take us up. They wanted us, my uncle and aunt wanted us to go up to the flight deck, and the flight deck was up six stairs and an escalator, and they were very steep stairs, and I'm freaking out over it because I'm worried about my mother. So we're taking a walker, and my mother, who's just managed to get up that last step. It was just anyway, we got up the escalator, we got out, and of course the normal things that people have to get up and down, the normal steps, are practically fucking ladders. They're so steep. And I was just like freaking out, like following her around like one of those, over attendant, and just like, don't look down there, don't look there, stay against the wall, lift your foot up, mind the lip, look at the crack. It was just, but then we got up there and it was really neat, and you got to see like where the planes landed and everything. It was really cool. And you look across the bay and you can see San Francisco, and that was all really nice. And then of course we had to get back down, so we needed another attendant, and my mother on an escalator. And I'm like, I don't trust my uncle and aunt, so I'm like telling them, you stand here and you stand here and you watch this and you do that. And then we managed to get to the last steps and down, and then I finally unclenched. But other than that, it was a lovely time. Yeah, it was really cool. So, and then we started back home, and about 2/3 of the way, suddenly my mother decides to, I don't know, forget, I don't know what, but two things that we weren't going to talk about: religion and politics, because they are still religious and they are Trump supporters. And I was like, and all of a sudden my mother starts in about Trump and asking my uncle, how could you support him when he did that? And I'm like, mother, no. And yeah, so my uncle was really, really good about trying to not engage with it, and she started to push it, and both my aunt and I were like, we're not talking politics, just shut up. So yeah, anyway, my mom kind of apologized to me later on, and I was just like, it's fine, just don't do it again. Anyway, so that was our trip. All right, things that I watched home for the holidays. One of your favorite movies for Thanksgiving?
Yeah, I watched it too.
Yeah, and I enjoyed it. I think probably more this time, but I think that this time I actually kind of sympathized with the bitch woman a little bit more, except for her gay shit. But the taking care of the parents thing, I was kind of like, you know, kind of sympathized with her a little bit on that. But the rest of it, nope, she's still a bitch. Anyway, let's see here. Also, I watched First Wives Club again, which I have not watched in probably a good 7-8 years, and it was so fun to watch again. They are so good together. I almost kind of wish that they had done a sequel. I just saw on Netflix something called The First Wives Club, but it didn't look anything like this, so I'll have to investigate that later. But then, let's see, Tom left, and there's a couple things that I wanted to mention with him. So the other things that I watched the 3 Good Witch movies. I was just the 2 days right after I got home from Alameda, and then of course after Thanksgiving, I was so burnt out. I basically just got in bed and watched. I ordered the Hallmark movies, not like the channel, but like there's this offshoot or something called like Hallmark movies, and you can get it through Amazon for like, I don't know, $2.90, like $1.99 for 2 months. And I was like, well, holiday movies, they're schlocky, but whatever. So I went ahead and ordered it. Excuse me. And I was able to watch some movies on there, but 3 of them that I watched were Good Witch movies, and I just really needed that downtime. What was that? Is that Pedialyte? It's not. Oh, onion salt. Oh, nice. Is that another deal that you got, or?
Yes.
Huh.
Yeah, I love onion salt, and it's hard to find.
Yeah.
Find the onion powder, but you can't find the onion salt. You can find the garlic salt, you can find the garlic powder, you can find the granulated garlic, but the onion's harder to find.
That's true. I never really thought about that, but yeah, you're right.
And nothing like onion salt on a hash brown when you're making hash brown.
Yeah, that sounds really good. All right, so yeah, I watched that. All right, now that Tom's back, so there's a show on Amazon called 007 Road to a Million. Have you seen the ads for that?
Yeah.
Okay, have you watched any of it? Probably not. You didn't talk about it.
No, because I don't like James Bond shows.
Okay, well, it's not actually a James Bond show. Well, I mean, it's kind of styled that way, but it's basically um, a a version of, I don't want to say Amazing Race. Hold on one moment. Excuse me. So but it is basically like where they give them a task, like they have to go to a phone booth and they have to get like directions of where to go, and then they end up just walking, and they end up like walking across a lock and then finding a rope and pulling a suitcase out of a Scottish lock, and then they have to answer a question, and if they answer the question right, then they get to go on, and there's like 8 groups, but they only focus on 2, like one that is in the lead and then one that like ends up not being in the lead. We'll just say that so there's no spoilers for anybody if they want to watch it. But the second episode was, they basically had to they had to guess the length of a large boa constrictor that was in a trunk, and they had to basically take it and hold up a thing. Oh my god, I was like, no, I was hitting the fast forward button. No, 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 no. But that's basically what it is. It's kind of boring and yet also kind of interesting in the same way. So I don't know. Okay, next up, I watched one of the Hallmark Christmas movies. It was called The World Record Christmas. And it's about a young boy with autism who tries to break a Guinness World Record and earn the attention of his birth father. Meanwhile, his mom and stepdad hope to rediscover the spark in their marriage. So that was interesting. It wasn't horrible, but it wasn't, it was very Hallmark. And then The Magic Stocking, where Lindsay, a single mom, is closed off to life after losing her husband a few years back. When she buys a stocking at a town's Christmas craft fair, the family begins magically finding items in the stocking. And of course, it, brings her new love and the daughter a new puppy and, all sorts of stuff. No spoilers, it's been out a while. So
was there like a son there that left something in that sock as well?
No, that was your family tradition. Anyway, and then the only other thing that I watched was the new Doctor Who special, which is available on Disney Plus for anybody who's like, I don't have any of the British channels. Don't worry, it's on Disney Plus. You can go watch it there. It was really fun. It was so fun to see David Tennant and Catherine Tate back together again. They play off each other so well. There was a few minutes in the story where it was a little muddled, and it's got you remember the lovely story on Netflix, the two boys in love. What is it?
Yeah, I know it.
Yes, but what's the title of the show? Do you remember?
Heartbeaters.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Heartstoppers or something like that.
Oh, is that it? Stoppers?
I don't know. Anyway, so the transgender girl in it. She is in this episode also as Catherine Tate's daughter, who is transgender. And so that was just like they were kind of throwing a little extra, you know, modern life in there. And they did a good job of it, though. It was really fun. The characters were fun. So it was great to see back, and there's 2 more episodes. So, yay. All right. Well, now that I have bored Tom shitless, let's move on to thoughts and prayers. Dear Miss Manners, my question concerns the phrase thoughts and prayers, which imposes one's own religion on those who are differing or no religious beliefs. I do respect the rights of individuals to believe in and practice their own religion. I do not, however, think that any religious beliefs or practices should be forced upon others. I am a lifelong atheist who has abandoned religion. Once I was old enough to challenge my parents' beliefs. I have now been diagnosed with potentially terminal cancer. Numerous friends and relatives have started praying for me and very publicly announcing what they are doing. All right, we had to take a little momentary break there. Let's see. I have now been diagnosed with potentially terminal cancer. Numerous friends and family have started praying for me and very publicly announcing that they are doing so, even to the point of recruiting people I don't know to participate. How should I respond to those unrelenting verbal proclamations, multiple daily of thoughts and prayers? Despite the fact that my atheist beliefs are known to these people, and they seem to be preying upon me as a weakened individual in order to recruit for their own faith. My inner voice wants to say praying is more for your own well-being, to feel that you and your religion somehow deserve credit for my potential recovery, or that you did everything you could in the event of my demise. But I suspect that that would be considered rude. Managing the physical and mental stress of a terminal illness is a full-time job. The last thing I need is to be constantly bombarded with self-serving religious proselytizing. Please help me with the right response and help educate others about this offensive behavior. And
Well, it's not offensive.
okay.
It's more of well, the way you handle this is you go, thank you. That's how you deal with it. Thank you. And then you move on.
Yeah.
Because this is an odd situation because of the terminal illness.
Well, right. And like they said something about, potential recovery. Well, if it's terminal, there's no recovery.
All right.
So
what I think is that when someone says they're sending you thoughts and prayers, you go, thank you. And then in the back of your mind, you go, fuck you. But that's okay. You don't say it out loud. And you don't send this to Miss Manners and ask her how to deal with it. You just say thank you and move on. Now, if they sit there and they go, oh, well, we need to take you to a church, then you can go, okay, now we got a problem.
Yeah, but for a situation like this, thoughts and prayers are just something that somebody's going to say because they don't know what else to say.
Right. And a lot of people say it because I give thoughts and prayers to those children that were killed in the school.
Now,
they didn't have a problem with it.
Fucking and irritating.
Yeah. So it's gross, but it's not worth arguing over. And you're getting more worked up over this than you should be when you're sick.
All right. Well, let's see what Miss Manners said. Thoughts and prayers have become such a commonplace reaction that Miss Manners doubts she can dislodge it. However annoying you find this, you know that these people intend it as sympathetic support. So no, you do not want to reply a reply that sounds rude, but you might say mildly, you know I'm a devout atheist, don't you? Or if you fear that some this might bring proselytizing, I appreciate your thoughts. Your prayers are between you and your beliefs. Which to me still sounds rude. I just
Yeah,
who
it's
cares?
easier
Just say
just to,
thanks and move on.
yeah, it's just easier to say thank you. Okay, bye.
Basically interpret it as their way of saying, I don't know what to say, but I feel for you, you know?
Yeah.
So, all right. Hey, this comes from Timothy. Hey, Chubs, what do you think of people who celebrate their birthday for an entire week? They have more money
You,
than we do.
I think it's boring.
I think they should have aimed for a month, like Miss Bacon.
Yeah, but I personally I find it boring.
Yeah.
I mean, it can be fun, the right person's playing it up,
Mhm.
but otherwise, I think it's especially when it's somebody that you are around all the time, and they go, "Well, it is my birthday week." It's like, you immediately just, ugh. I've got
But
something. Hold on a minute.
all right, so Tom has something that he has to check out up front. So yeah, I don't know. Did it take your mom a week to push you out? Maybe it was your birth week. I don't know. You know, we were so poor we didn't even get a day. But yeah, I don't know. You do you is kind of where I'm at right now. Let's see. Well, Tom's grabbing his package. Oh, you got your meat undies. That's awesome. I thought you just ordered them today.
No, no, that was Black Friday. The only
Oh,
thing I ordered today was the blender. Come on, keep up with it.
okay. Hey, Chubbs, have you ever had a friend who didn't celebrate birthdays, but you did something for them anyway?
Um, well, if it was Matt, I know he's going to say yes because
Hmm,
he likes to irritate people by giving them gifts when they don't want them because it makes him feel better.
It's all about me, girl.
You
Hmm,
know. But um, I mean, I've done that before.
yeah, I imagine I have too. I mean, I try to respect somebody's wishes. If they were like just really like, it's against my religion to do that or something, I'd be like, okay.
Oh, if it's against their religion, I'm not going to be friends with them anyway. So
Ah, well.
seriously, I'm not going to be around somebody who's got that hanging over their head all the time.
Hmm.
Okay.
But yeah, usually if yeah, I would probably do something just something smaller, like hey, let's go to lunch or something. Yeah. Um. All right. Well, let's get into what's in your lunch box.
There's nothing here from Scott. Where's Scott's? There's no picture.
Scott doesn't have a picture. What? That's crazy talk. Well, it is up on the Facebook, so that's the important thing. You can run over there and look it up while I read this. So Mr. Scott wrote in and said, "Hey Tom, hey Matt and Tom, hope you both had a nice Thanksgiving. Scott here. Mark and I made shepherd's pie for Thanksgiving. It was delicious. We used ground turkey and made gravy. We have always used Besto. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Gravy mix from England. It's such a good gravy. Growing up, I would always help mom make shepherd's pie, but she would use the leftover roast from Sunday's dinner, and I would help grind it up by hand and help her make them. Oh, that's a nice memory. I remember my grandmother had one of those old grinders, and we would like grind pork and stuff for sausage. Anyway, okay, so you can go check out that on Facebook.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, it
I
looks.
always I always appreciate because I'm not a Thanksgiving turkey person.
Mhm.
So I always like it when people do something different for Thanksgiving that's not gross sweet potatoes, gross green beans, gross turkey.
Mm,
That's what I don't want.
yeah.
Oh, and pumpkin pie. Gross.
It looked really, really good. And I do like shepherd's pie. I haven't had the lamb version.
Have you ever had it with shepherd?
Um, I don't know if that's what his name was or not.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Moose wrote in and said carrot cake again. I'd say it's my favorite, but that would be a lie. I love all cake. Mm. Well, that looks really good. Look at all the stuff inside of it. That is just beautiful. Let's see. We have Thanksgiving at our house, Cajun sliced brine turkey breast, asparagus and green bean casseroles, mashed potatoes, and remember the bread I baked? It appeared as stuffing. Oh, wow. It looks really yummy. Really, really yummy. And much neater than my plate did, let me tell you. Ate too much at Thanksgiving, but did get a small piece of pie. This is chocolate pecan pie, chocolate filling, chocolate chunks, and pecans. I never really thought about putting chocolate in pecan pie. I may have said that before, but you're muted.
Yeah, it's very popular this year.
Huh.
And also chocolate fruitcakes.
That's another thing I wouldn't have thought about doing.
Yeah, because I mean, first of all, the last thing I want is chocolate and everything. But I mean, because I'm a purist on like pecan pie and fruitcakes, so automatically I'm kind of like, but it's been very popular.
Huh. Well, I will say that piece of pie looked really good.
Yeah. Oh no, the pie looks great. Yeah. No, I mean, I'll give it a try. Sure. I mean, I've never had a chocolate pecan pie or a chocolate fruitcake, and it may be good, but I've never had it before. So, I'm like you in that sense. I'm not having that. No, don't bring me in those things. Did he mention what this is? That the bread that he made?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, because he mentioned bread earlier for the stuffing, but this looks like pumpkin something.
Oh, so this is a sweet neighbor brought over pumpkin bread, still warm from the oven.
It looks really good. I love the melted butter and how it hasn't soaken in yet because it's still warm and it's just sitting there. Boy, that looks good.
It does. Thank you so much, Mr. Moose, for sending those. Those are some beautiful photos. Charles wrote in and sent a photo and said, my Thanksgiving dinner from Wawa, which I guess is a store.
Okay.
Okay.
So it comes in a roll or a bun?
I guess. I don't know much about this. Maybe Charles will have to write in and tell us. But
we can see the turkey across the bottom and the cranberry on the top. That must be dressing, but maybe it's sweet potatoes because it's kind of sliced.
Yeah.
Yes, we need more info.
Yes.
But thank you for entering the contest.
Yep. And we've got Tom wrote in, and would you like to tell us what this is?
Sure. For Thanksgiving, we didn't want to do turkey or the green beans or any, so we just did sides because we ate at this one restaurant in San Diego, and the sides that they had were so good that we decided right then that we were going to just do sides for Thanksgiving. So that is, it's carrots and Brussels sprouts, and then mashed potatoes, which were fantastic. And then that's my dressing, and then I made the gravy, and that was our Thanksgiving dinner. No pie, no rolls, no any other stuff. It was just sides. So
those aren't sides. What?
But what I thought was really funny was that I saw Scott's Sater's plate, and he has the same plates I do.
Oh, nice. They're nice, pretty blue pattern. All right.
Okay.
I think so. All right. Golden Rule Services want you to know about an important tool in preventing you from contracting HIV. PrEP is a medication proven to be 99% effective in preventing HIV infection. To learn more about PrEP, visit sacgrs.org. Also, find Tom's other podcast at swannerandjudd.com. Find my books at justkisstheguy.com. Find all our links at allmylinks.com/chubsgonewild. And give us a call at
408-69 ho 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 chubs.
And if you could figure out that number, call us. Wish us a happy holidays or something. All right.
Contest.
And with that, we love you, and we'll catch you next week. Bye.
Bye.
A network of inclusion.
UnivazPods.net.
This show is part of the Pride 48 network.
This has been a For Fuck's Sake production.